Are we really living in the end times? Did you know that the Bible gives us clear signs that the return of Jesus is closer than we think? In this video, we will explore the 16 biblical signs that show us his second coming is just around the corner. So if you've ever wondered how we will know that he is near, stay with me till the end, because this will make you think deeply. Verse number 1. The promise of Jesus' return. It all begins with a promise that Jesus made to us in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 3. Jesus said something very important to his followers. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you with me, so that where I am, you may also be. These words were spoken by Jesus shortly before he was arrested and crucified. At that moment, he was assuring his disciples that even though he was going to leave, he would not leave them forever. He promised them that he would return for them, to take them to the place he had prepared, a place where they could all be together forever. This promise is one of the greatest hopes that we Christians have, the certainty that Jesus will return. But even though we know that Jesus will return, how can we know when it will happen? The Bible gives us several signs that we should watch for to understand that his return is near. We do not know the exact day or hour, but if certain events and changes in the world indicate to us that we are getting closer and closer to that long-awaited moment, in this video, we are going to explore some of those signs so that we can be prepared and watchful as Jesus asked us to. Verse number 2. The signs in the sky and on earth. One of the first signs that Jesus gave us about his return has to do with what will happen in the sky. In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29, Jesus said, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from the sky." This means it will be changes so great and astonishing in the sky that everyone will see them. The sun will stop shining as it always does. The moon will lose its light, and the stars will fall from the sky, as if the universe were being shaken. It is hard to imagine such an astonishing event. What kind of phenomenon could make the sun and the moon stop shining? The Bible tells that this is something so amazing and terrifying, no one can pass it, stop when we see these changes in the sky. It will be a clear sign that we are about to witness something incredible. The return of Jesus. It's as if the very sky were showing us that something very important is about to happen. Number 3. Wars and rumors of wars. If we look at the world today, we can't ignore that tensions and conflicts are on the rise. Have you noticed how every day we hear news about wars or threats of war in different places? Jesus had predicted this over 2,000 years ago. In Matthew chapter 24, verses 6 to 7, he said, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation." These words of Jesus are just as relevant today as they were in his time. Conflicts between countries, the struggles for power and resources, and the threats of war are increasing. And what? The Bible is that all of this is part of the signs that his return is near. What's interesting here is that even though these wars and tensions are signs, Jesus told us that we should not be afraid. Even though these conflicts are happening, and even though they seem to be getting more and more intense, Jesus warns us that it is still not the end. This increase in wars is just one of the signs we should be watching for. But it is not the final sign. Even so, it is a reminder that we must be prepared, because the time is drawing near. Number 4. The increase of wickedness and apostasy. One of the most surprising and clear signs that Jesus gave us about the end times is the increase of wickedness in the world. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 12, Jesus said, "And because of the increase of wickedness, the love of many will grow cold." This means that as his return draws near, we will see how people become more selfish, violent and indifferent to others. We are seeing it now. If we look at what is happening in society today, it seems that wickedness is everywhere. Violence seems to be increasing. Selfishness is growing more and more, and corruption is present in many aspects of life. Everything seems out of control. Jesus had already warned us about this. This is a sign that we are close to his return. In addition, Jesus also said something very important, that the love of many will grow cold. That is to say, people would stop loving and caring for others. And this is something we can see in our daily lives. Seem familiar? Often, we hear stories of people who become insensitive or indifferent to the suffering of others. This coldness in people's hearts is a sign that we are living in the last days. Number 5, the preaching of the gospel to the whole world. One of the signs that excites me the most is the spread of the gospel. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 14, Jesus said, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." This means that before Jesus returns, his message will be heard by all people in every part of the world. Today, where we cannot hear about Jesus, thanks to technology, the gospel is reaching every corner of the planet. The internet, social media, television, radio. All these media allow us to share the message of Jesus like never before. Today, we can hear about the love of Christ and his salvation, no matter where in the world we are. It's amazing. I myself am surprised when I think that this prophecy of Jesus is being fulfilled in real time. It's something that couldn't have happened just a few decades ago. But now, thanks to technology, the message is within everyone's reach. This, my friends, is a clear sign that the return of Jesus is getting closer and closer. The fact that the gospel is being preached all over the world is one of the most powerful proofs that we are living in the last days. Number 6, the return of the Jews to their land. Restoration of Israel. Not only is the gospel reaching every corner of the world, Israel also plays a very important role in the last days. In Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 21 to 22, the Bible tells us about how the Jewish people would return to their land after being scattered among many nations. God says, "Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the nations to which they were sent, and I will gather them from all countries, and I will bring them to their own land." This prophecy from the Bible was fulfilled in a remarkable way in the year 1948, when Israel was restored as a nation after more than 2,000 years of being scattered around the world. This historic event is a sign we cannot ignore. The restoration of Israel is not just a political event, but a fulfilled prophecy. And most importantly, according to the Bible, this return of the Jews to their land, it's one of the further signs that we are living in the last days. This fact reminds us that everything that Jesus and the prophets said about the future is happening before our eyes, and that his return is closer than we think. Verse number 7, false Christs and false prophets. An important topic that the Bible mentions is the appearance of false Christs and false prophets. Jesus himself warned us about this in Matthew chapter 24, verse 5, where he said, "Many will come in my name saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many." Jesus told us that in the last days, there would be people who would present themselves as him, either who would claim to have the power and authority of Christ. If we look at the world today, it's hard to find people who say they are the Messiah, or who teach a message that distorts what Jesus really taught. Some have even gathered followers, deceiving them with promises of miracles or quick fixes. It's amazing to see how lies keep growing more and more. What's important here is to remember that the truth of Jesus never changes. He is the only way, the only truth, and the only life. But lies and deception are increasing, and we must be very alert so as not to be deceived. Jesus warned us out so we do not fall into error and always follow his true message. Number 8, the increase of knowledge and travel. A sign that we often don't notice is the increase of knowledge and the speed with which we can now travel. In Daniel chapter 12, verse 4, the Bible says, "Many will run to and fro, when knowledge shall increase." This means that as the end times approach, access to information would grow impressively, and people would be able to move faster than ever before. If we look at the world today, we can see how knowledge is within everyone's reach. With one click on the internet, we have access to millions of books, videos, articles, research papers, and more. Before, getting so much information was almost impossible. But now everything is available in the palm of our hands. In addition, transportation has never been so fast. We can travel from one continent to another in just a few hours. In the past, crossing oceans or continents used to take months. But now, everything is much more accessible and faster. This makes the world feel smaller and smaller. The speed of travel and the increase in knowledge are signs that the end times are drawing near. All of this is part of the fulfillment of prophecies and reminds us that the return of Jesus is closer than ever. Verse number 9. Increase in persecution of Christians. One of the first signs that Jesus gave us that his return is near is the increase in persecution against Christians. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 9, Jesus warned us, "Then they will deliver you up to tribulation. They will kill you, and you will be hated by all nations because of my name." This means that many people who believe in him will suffer for their faith, and many will be attacked just for being Christians. Throughout history, even today, Christians have faced persecutions, just like in ancient times, when they were attacked and killed in the Roman Empire. Today, in many countries, Christians continue to be persecuted. In some places, people are arrested, tortured, or even killed just for attending a church or talking about Jesus. And the most surprising thing is that this persecution has not decreased. In fact, it is increasing, especially in country Christianity. Christian is viewed with hatred or contempt. In Revelation chapter 6, verses 9 to 11, we see a powerful image of the martyrs, people who died for their faith in Christ. These people are in heaven. They are asking for justice for their suffering. This verse shows us that the pain and the struggle of Christians in this world are not in vain. It is a sign that something greater and final is drawing near, the return of Jesus. But what does this mean for us? How should we respond to these trials and difficulties? The Bible tells us that perseverance in our faith will be one of the most difficult trials we will face. Standing firm in our belief in the midst of persecution will be crucial. This is a call for us to be ready and strengthened in our faith, since difficult times may be closer than we think. Verse 10. The restoration of the temple in Jerusalem. You've probably heard about the prophecy regarding the reconstruction of the temple in Jerusalem in the Bible in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. The Apostle Paul tells us that the man of sin will exalt himself above everything that is called God, sitting in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. This is an important prophecy that has not yet been fulfilled, and it is related to the reconstruction of the temple in Jerusalem, an event that holds great significance in the Bible. The Temple of Jerusalem was a sacred place for the Jews, where they worshipped God. However, that temple was destroyed thousands of years ago, and it has not yet been rebuilt. Today, there is a movement underway to rebuild it. Many consider this reconstruction is a sign that we are very close to the end times when Jesus will return. Imagine for a moment that the Temple of Jerusalem is restored. And in that temple, a leader appears who proclaims himself to be God. This leader is known in the Bible as the Antichrist. According to prophecies, the Antichrist will sit in that temple, pretending to be God and deceiving the nations. This is not something that is too far off in the future. It is something that could happen in our lifetime, in our days. The reconstruction of the temple is an important sign that many Christians believe that indicates that the return of Jesus is getting closer and closer. Verse number 11, the Great Tribulation. Jesus warned us about an even more dramatic and difficult time will come. Great Tribulation in Matthew chapter 24, verses 21 to 22. He said, "For then there will be great tribulation, not been since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will." This means there will be a time of suffering so great that it has never been seen before, and that will never happen again. During this time, there will be much chaos, wars and distress, a suffering without comparison. It may sound terrifying, and it is, but Jesus also gives us a promise of hope. He tells that those days of great suffering will be shortened for the sake of the elect, that is, for those who follow Jesus. In Revelation chapter 7, verse 14, it speaks about people, what will happen, this great trials. They are described as those who have washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb. This means that even though they will suffer greatly, their faith in Jesus will purify them and make them stronger. The suffering will not be in vain, even though it will be a painful time. This suffering will serve to purify the church, preparing us for the return of Christ. At the end of this suffering, when Jesus returns, He will restore all things and will bring us eternal peace and justice. Number 12. Moral and spiritual fall of humanity. If we look around us, it's hard not notice that the world is going through a great moral and spiritual crisis. In Luke chapter 17, verses 26 to 30, Jesus compared the last days to the days of Noah and Lot. In those times, people lived so focused on their sins and selfish desires that they didn't listen to the warnings given to them. Jesus said, "Just as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the Son of Man." What does this mean for us today? Morality, that is, what is right and good, seems to be in decline. God's laws, such as love and respect for others, are being ignored by many people instead of caring about what is just and good. It seems selfishness and individualism are gaining ground. In 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 4 to 5, the Apostle Paul warns us that people will be lovers of themselves, vain and arrogant, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful. This description is a reflection of what we see in society today. Often people seek their own interests more than the well-being of others, and sadly, many are turning away from God. Biblically, this departure from God's values is a sign that the return of Jesus is near. Times of corruption and disobedience are clear signs that we are living in the last days, just as Jesus predicted. Number 13, global unification. Global and the emergence of a world leader. One topic we cannot ignore is the prominent idea that is gaining strength of a single world government. The Bible speaks of a very powerful leader called the Antichrist, who will take control of all the nations of the world. In Revelation chapter 13, verses 7 and 8, it describes how this leader will exercise authority over all nations, and they will worship the beast. This means that the Antichrist will rule over everyone, and people will follow his leadership. They will even go so far as to worship him, believing that he is a divine leader. Although this may have seemed like an unbelievable past idea, nowadays, we are seeing that the idea of a global government is becoming more and more possible. With globalization, countries are more connected, economically and politically than ever before. Nations depend on each other more than ever. They exchange goods, services and information constantly. And there are even agreements aimed at greater global cooperation. Therefore, it's not so hard to imagine how a single leader could take control in such an interconnected world, where the decisions of one country can affect the entire planet. This scenario makes us wonder, are we prepared to recognize the Antichrist when he arrives? The Bible warns us of his coming and invites us to stay alert so we don't fall for his deception. Number 14. The restoration of faith in Jesus around the world. Despite all the chaos and the difficult times we are living through, there is a sign that gives us hope. The restoration of faith in Jesus. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 14, Jesus tells us that this gospel will be preached throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. This means that before the end of the world arrives, the message of Jesus will spread across the entire planet, continuing to reach every person, no matter where they live. Even though persecution and rejection of Christians continue to exist, the gospel keeps advancing and touching hearts all over the world. In Revelation chapter 7, verses 9 to 10, we are shown a great multitude of people from every race, countries, languages, who are united in praising God, saying salvation to our God. This shows us the power of the gospel, which does not stop, not even in the midst of adversity. Faith in Jesus continues to grow, even in the most remote places, where often the darkness seems to reign. Even though evil and injustice are increasing in the world, light of Christ is also spreading, and more people are coming to know the love of Jesus and deciding to follow him, which gives us hope that even though times may be difficult, faith in him will be stronger than ever. Number 15. The millennium and the kingdom of God. Finally, after Jesus returns, the Bible tells us about an incredibly positive time called the millennium, which is the period of 1,000 years during which Jesus will reign over the world. In Revelation chapter 20, in verses 4 to 6, we are told that during these 1,000 years, believers will live under the rule of Christ, who will bring peace, justice, and security. It be time when evil and sin will be kept in check, and peace will fill the earth. During this time there will be no more wars, no suffering or injustice, and people will live in harmony. This period will be like a complete restoration of the world. All the problems and the pain we have experienced throughout history will disappear. It will be time now in which creation will be restored to its perfect state. Just as God originally planned it, people will live with God without the effects of sin, and they will enjoy a reign of justice and peace that only Christ can bring. This will be a time of complete restoration, where everything that is broken will be healed. Verse number 16. The revelation of the glory of Jesus at his coming. And of course, Jesus will return in an incredibly glorious way. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 30, Jesus tells us that they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. This means that when Jesus returns, it will not be in a hidden or discreet way, but his return will be something visible to everyone. Everyone will see his return, and it will be an awe-inspiring moment, full of power and majesty. In Revelation chapter 19, verses 11 to 16, we are given an even more powerful image of his return. Jesus is described to us riding on a white horse, like a warrior who comes to bring justice and peace. At that moment, he will proclaim, with authority that he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, which means that he has dominion over the whole world and is the absolute leader of all nations. His return will not only be triumphant, but also full of glory, and he will bring with him the fulfillment of God's promises. It will be an event that will change the course of history, and everyone without exception will see him with awe and reverence. But each of these signs leads us to a single conclusion. The return of Jesus is near. Are you ready? The Bible encourages us to be prepared, to live with faith, hope, and love, knowing that his return will be a glorious moment. If this video has made you reflect, don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and leave your comment below. What do you think about these signs? Do you think we are living in the end times? I would love to read your thoughts. Thank you for joining me today. Stay alert, because Jesus is coming soon. See you in the next video.